Choosing what to watch on Netflix can be quite overwhelming, and that's exactly why we've made things easier for you. We've made a list of shows that we not only love rewatching, but also uplift your mood. Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Gabby with Binge Now. Today, we're talking about the top 5 heartwarming shows on Netflix that you cannot afford to miss. So what are we waiting for? Let's get right into it. Coming in at number 5 is Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Here comes Andy Samberg's sharp and often ridiculous investigative police comedy. Well, it's quick, punchy, and witty. It's difficult to find anything funny on Netflix when this show gets cooking.
That's how we do it in the 9-9, sir. Catch bad guys and look good doing it.
Brilliant comic actors like Andy Samberg, Joe Lo Truglio, Chelsea Peretti, and Terry Crews are among the show's all-star cast. The thing that makes Brooklyn Nine-Nine perform so well is that it carries itself just as seriously as any police procedural, despite the comic talent flowing out of every pore of its production. This show is a regular reminder that drama and humor are actually quite well related.
Back in the 9-9!
Woo! Jake!
It revolves around Jake Peralta, played by Andy Samberg, an exceptionally talented but super immature NYPD investigator who initially clashes with Captain Raymond Holt, his rigid and robotic new commanding officer.
Robot Captain, engage.
Is that what you think?
Hey! New Captain alert.
The characters of Brooklyn Nine-Nine are completely lovable, and you can relate with them since they are very complex and varied. For instance, you could relate with Charles Boyle, Joe Lo Truglio's unique and eccentric personality, as well as the highly organized and driven Amy Santiago, played by Melissa Fumero.
You're the primary, you're in charge. Take Diaz and Peralta.
Yes, my fantasy threesome of cops on a case.
Captain Raymond Holt, who delivers jokes with a deadpan delivery, might as well become your favorite character.
Everyone, I'm your new commanding officer, Captain Ray Holt.
Speech.
That was my speech.
Short, sweet.
However, he comes out as an overly restrictive and rule-following commander in the pilot episode. As the season goes on, he begins to open up and expose his peculiarities, with times of emotional openness, revealing his compassionate side. His workers admire him as a reflection of his genuine concern for them. The whole bedrock of Brooklyn Nine-Nine is made up of its endearing, funny characters and the wonderful relationship they have with one another. It's typical for sitcom writers to take the comic element too seriously. Sometimes programs often go too far and highlight solely the comedy and jokes, as if they were the only significant aspects of the entire series. This is a major factor with many sitcoms fail to catch on or have a very brief, forgettable life on TV. They are comedy shows, no doubt, but it's still quite important to represent the people, their lives, and their relationships in a realistic manner, and this is a notion that so many shows fail to grasp. But not Brooklyn Nine-Nine. This show does a fantastic job of separating its humorous parts from its serious and sad ones. The whole show seems much more genuine since forced humor is not thrust in heartfelt or sad parts. And even though Brooklyn Nine-Nine sometimes cracks up, it isn't hesitant to address serious subjects like racism, corruption, gender equality, and homophobia. And that's what makes this one a must-watch. Moving on to the 4th spot, we have Schitt's Creek. If you're looking for a feel-good show, the concept of Schitt's Creek wouldn't strike you at first. A wealthy family experiences financial ruin and is forced to relocate to a tiny town where the standard of living is far lower than they can imagine. However, everything about this show is ridiculous in the best way, and you can't help but fall in love with this family and the place where they live.
I'd like you to say hello to Roland, Moira, Shit.
The show is beautiful, intense, uplifting, and an absolute ball of joy. While each of the castings has done a stupendous job, we can't get over the performance of the greatest comedy performer ever, Catherine O'Hara.
So I have some news.
Oh, David, I'm not sure I'm in the mood to hear about another sexual exploit. I'm sorry, who is it this time?
Her matriarch, Moira, is undoubtedly one of the greatest characters to ever appear on screen. With her crazy wigs, fearless wit, and her peculiar accent, which is the real masterstroke, O'Hara has elevated the show to new heights.
I was snatched from my crib at birth by Russian mobsters. They looked at my fair skin and my dazzling eyes and they said, "We'll make a pretty penny on that one. On the human black market we will."
Honestly, we don't think there is a more dynamic and entertaining team than Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara.
Close your eyes, Moira. Smaller, smaller, smaller.
A bomb?
Whether it is on Schitt's Creek or Best in Show, these two stellar actors can play a married couple with impressive conviction and excellence. Even if the marriages in question between the TV series and the movie could not be more unlike, there is still something really dynamic about these two as a power couple. They just work.
No right to lay this financial and psychological burden on us.
Well, maybe I'll talk to her.
Now she has to move into one of those homes for unwed mothers.
When you think about it, Schitt's Creek has a particular surreal quality. We are referring to a tiny town where you are free to be who you are, even if that means being broke. It doesn't matter whether you're gay, bisexual, straight, or if you're sleeping with the same guy as your closest friend from town is. Out here, the bizarre looks regular and the regular seems strange. Trust us, you won't be able to stop watching it once you start because it's so entertaining, silly, and yet addicting. Up next at the number 3 spot on our list is Gilmore Girls. The shows on our list up to this point have all been quite traditional, but this one has some drama. It's impossible not to cheer for the quirky characters in the universe of Gilmore Girls, which is set in the tiny Connecticut town of Stars Hollow.
This is a jumbo coffee morning. I need coffee and an IV.
I give you tea and a balance bar.
Please, please, please tell me you're kidding.
I'm kidding.
You're sick.
Yep.
You're a sadist. You're a fiend. You're pretty.
Even if they frustrate you, you still want to dance because in this world where a mother and daughter have the main connection, they make teen parenthood seem like it might work out just fine.
I can stay all night. No, you can't do that.
Why not?
Because then I'm the pathetic person who needs her mother to stay all night and everyone here will see and know that.
Okay, so I won't spend the night.
No, stay the night.
Okay.
It is simple to see why this show has such a cult following. With its interesting characters, cozy New England location, and very distinctive style of humor, fans claim Gilmore Girls is an icon. It really is one of the greatest TV shows ever.
Let's go.
The whole show is dripping with intriguing and often cryptic references to media like television, theater, movies, books, music, politics, and society. Want a fast look at the greatest and most reminiscence-inspiring styles from the early 2000s? Look no further than Gilmore Girls, where anything from leather jackets to hair clips, bandanas to slip skirts are shown, and boy, did they succeed in doing so.
Trimmed it.
You didn't tell me you were cutting your hair.
It was a spur of the moment thing.
A spur of the moment? Let's not tell my mother I'm pulling a G.I. Jane.
Are we seriously gonna have this conversation now during the air raid?
Gilmore Girls has always been a show about women, which we cherish. We are constantly reminded of the strength and accomplishments of women, in addition to following the lives of 2 women. What a fantasy for a young girl to witness 3 generations of badass women at the center of a TV series. This one is surely going to be close to your heart. At the number 2 spot, we have The Good Place. This fantasy comedy on NBC where some people are taken after death is the focus of the show, starring Ted Danson and Kristen Bell.
Why can't I say fork?
If you're trying to curse, you can't hear. I guess a lot of people in this neighborhood don't like it, so it's prohibited.
That's bullshit.
Let's face it, The Good Place wasn't expected to do so well. It's a primetime network sitcom on NBC. The cast of the show, apart from Ted Danson and Kristen Bell, is made of unknown characters, but Michael Schur did this show brilliantly. It runs more like a well-oiled machine, surprising and satisfying diehard fans with an imaginative, how the heck do they keep pulling this off mindset.
I'm loving that hat on you. It would look even better on my floor.
What?
The Good Place, created by Michael Schur, who by the way is also known for Parks and Recreation, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and The Office, established itself as one of the top shows on TV. It is subtly clever, unendingly inventive, existentially profound, and consistently hilarious. It's easy to overlook how intense the show is because of its light touch. It's proof that, despite TV's constant desire to neatly separate considerate dramas and light comedies, slapstick and banter can exist side by side, and that a show doesn't need to be serious all the time. No other TV show now airing can seamlessly go from zero to Zucker Brothers with its visual jokes, or consistently make you laugh while increasing your IQ.
I guess that's why my house, for example, is this adorable little cottage, whereas other people might have homes that are bigger. Like that one.
Exactly. Oh, I'm so happy you get it.
It frequently succeeds in keeping the tragedy of its human drama grounded while also being hilariously spectacular and skillful. Even though The Good Place has just had 2 seasons, it already seems like a masterpiece. We hope it runs for eternity. At number 1 is the undisputable historical drama, The Crown. This Netflix original follows the life of Queen Elizabeth II from her 1947 wedding to Prince Philip through her 1952 accession to the throne after the death of her father, King George VI.
My name is Elizabeth.
And long live Queen Elizabeth.
In conclusion, the acting is outstanding and the production values are very high. The whole of the first season of Netflix's new Queen Elizabeth II bioseries, The Crown, plays around with this concept of power until truly driving it home in the season's closing scenes. And even while the Crown struggles to decide whether the monarchy's degree of authority is a good or terrible thing, its enthusiasm to debate that issue makes the series compelling and one of the best Netflix dramas in recent history.
You're my wife or my queen.
I am both, and a strong man will be able to kneel to both.
I will not kneel before my wife.
But your wife is not asking you to.
But my queen commands me.
Yes.
I beg you make an exception for me.
No.
It's one of the finest series on TV because it cares about more than just luring fans to watch the next episode. The Crown has had a total of 4 seasons released and has been extended for a further 2 seasons.
And?
Well, that's it for today, everyone. Which one do you think is the most heartwarming TV show, and are you most likely to watch? Let us know in the comments down below. And don't forget to show us some love by hitting that like button, subscribing for more amazing content on a weekly basis too. Thanks for watching. Until next time.